Welcome to aminacademy.com. Let us discuss about the real heroes of India freedom fighters, Marudhu brothers and Velu Nachiyar. The Marudhu brothers, Periya Marudhu and Chinna Marudhu, were leaders of the 18th century South Indian rebellion against the British East India Company. Born in 1748 and 1753, the brothers born in 1748 and 1753, the brothers were the sons of Mokka Palaniswamy, a general in the Raja of Ramnath's army. Their father trained them in martial arts and they were given the title of Pandyan by the Raja. Service under the Raja Sivagangai. In 1772, the brothers became lieutenant in the Raja Sivagangai's army. After the death of the Raja and Queen, the brothers took over as rulers of Sivagangai from 1780 and 1801. This ruler was characterized by harmony and secularism. Rebellions against the British. The brothers attacks on the East India Company led to a significant deployment of forces. The British offered a reward for the capture of their brothers and eventually captured them and executed them on October 24, 1801. The brothers' struggle against British rule inspired Tamil nationalism. They are known for inventing many invariants of spears and Valari and for founding guerrilla war tactics in India. Marudhu brothers and Queen Velu Nachiyar were leaders in the fight against the British India. The Marudhu brothers, Periya Marudhu and Chinna Marudhu, were generals in army of Muthu Vadugar of Sivagangai. They were skilled in warfare and artillery and are said to have invented the Valari, a boomerang-like weapon in 1801. They issued a proclamation of independence from the Tiruchi fort, calling the people to unite against European domination. They were executed by the British on October 24, 1801. The first queen to fight for India's independence from the British, Velu Nachiyar, granted the Marudhu brothers the power to administer the country in 1780. She successfully reclaimed her kingdom and governed for 10 years. She died on December 25, 1796 and was succeeded by her daughter Vellachi. Here are some other events in the history of the Marudhu brothers and Velu Nachiyar. In 1772, the British East India Company killed Muthu Vadugar after they refused to pay taxes. The Marudhu brothers and Velu Nachiyar escaped and stayed with Gopalanayak in Virupachi for 8 years. In 1789, an alliance of kingdom led by the Pandyan attacked and retook Sivagangai. The Marudhu brothers worked with Oomathurai after the death of Kattabamman. The Marudhu brothers' fight against the British lasted 150 years. The Marudhu brothers' execution was accompanied by the execution of their family and other relatives, totaling more than 500 people in one day. The Marudhu brothers' son Duraisamy was among the many relatives who were sent to exile. Now let us discuss more about the Marudhu brothers. On October 24, 1801, two middle-aged brothers were publicly hanged to death at the Tirupattur fort of southern Tamil Nadu. The fact that Marudhu Pandyan brothers were the rulers of Sivagangai kingdom did not invoke any ceremony during the execution. Every one of their fellow rebels, their commanders and servants, their son, and even their young grandson were hanged alongside them, supposedly from palmyra trees around the fort. With those mass executions, the British East India Company and its allies successfully put an end to fierce rebellion by the Southern Kingdom of India, a revolt that is little remembered and hardly finds mention in history textbooks. More than 50 years before the Sepoy Mutiny in 1857, the Marudhu Pandya brothers had led a concerted struggle against the oppressive practice of the British. On June 16, 1801, months before their death, the brothers issued a proclamation of independence from the Tiruchi fort, calling for people of all castes and communities to unite their fight against European domination. An all Indian concept inspired and proclamation for it not only made a direct appeal to the entire country but expressed an anxiety that if the political malady persisted, India would fall under alien rule. Some historian, the K. Rajayam, author of the book South Indian Rebellions, the First War of Independence, 18, 1800 and 1801. Turbulent beginnings. Popular representation of the brothers evolved over the 2 centuries following their death, depict them as as a tall and muscular with fierce mustaches and eyes filled with rage. In most of all of them, they are turbaned and brandishing swords. Every year till date, the Kalayargoil temple of Sivaganga district, where their mortal remains were buried. A Guru Puja is also conducted on their death anniversary in memory of their valor. Periya Marudhu and Chinna Marudhu were born to Mokka Palaniswamy Thevar and his wife Punnatha, who served as second king of Sivaganga kingdom. Muthu Vadugar of Sivagangai. Though the exact dates are still unclear, historians claim that Periya Marudhu or the Big Marudhu was born in 1748 in Ramnad state. Chinna Marudhu or the younger Marudhu was 5 years younger. As children, the brothers worked in the palace as aides of the kings, while they developed their skill in warfare and artillery alongside. Legend has, in that of the brothers, even saved the kings from a wild tiger without the use of weapons, thereby gaining his favor. He then bestowed upon them the title of Pandya. But their time in the palace was soon come to an end. While the brothers were in their early 20s, the Nawab of Arcot, who claimed overlordship over the southern kingdom, sent officials from the East India Company to collect taxes from the rulers. When the king refused after long negotiation, and he and queens were killed at their palace one night. The same night, the Marudhu brothers fled to the kingdom along with the first queen Velu Nachiyar and received sanctuary in the neighboring kingdom Virupakshi, ruled by Kobal Nayak. Here they stayed for 7 years. This was where the brothers trained in warfare, but the queen was not one to accept defeat so easily. Though those 7 years, she gathered allies along the southern kingdom through careful strategic placements of troops. Velu Nachiyar's force, led by the Marudhu brothers, took over Sivagangai again. Periya Marudhu was then appointed as commander of the army and Chinna Marudhu was the chief minister. The Bloody War. It was around this time that the East India Company was penetrating the southern reaches of India, tackling one kingdom at a time. After the defeat of Tipu Sultan in Mysore, the rebellions Kattabomman Pandya of Panchalanguruchi was killed for resisting taxation by the British. The British had then these tactics of dealing with one enemy at a time said by historian. Meanwhile, the brother, meanwhile the brothers who were the Agok rulers of the kingdom began gathering support from the smaller rulers, even though even those who supported Tipu Sultan in his fight against the British. The brothers even adopted the idea of jailbreak to intimidate the officials of the East India Company. In 1799, the jailbreak in Coimbatore, orchestrated by the brothers and their southern allies, failed terribly, with many of their people being captured and executed. But the Marudhu Pandyas decided that they would fight till the finish, said the historian Rajendra. They planned another jailbreak in 1800, this time to release the brothers of Kattabomman Pandiyar, Umaiturai, and Sevaitya from the Palayamkotte jail. They soon became close allies and the brothers and played a key role in the 1801. Over the next 1 year, the rebellions grew in momentum, leaving the British rattled in the proclamation of 1801. Marudhu Vandiyar brothers said. The brothers led fight of the rebels by employing guerrilla tactics in the deep jungles of Tiruvarkadu. 4 days later, they were hanged. With him, Marudhu Pandya fell the last war of independence in southern India. The road was open for the British for the conquest of Hindustan. According to another historian, the process adopted for their execution was both anomalous and irregular. As it happened, the brothers who, in their proclamation of independence, exhorted the people to rise above caste consideration to fight a common enemy, have been thoroughly transformed into caste icons over the last 3 decades. Their memory has been rested by the Seva community, and the Guru Puja dedicated to them is now an event to celebrate caste pride rather than their resistance against the British. So far, we discussed about Marudhu brothers and Velu Nachiyar. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.